can you call it a war when there are no screaming, no yelling, no fistfights? But there is real tension between NetJets and its pilots, as the company, which does fractional jet ownership with pretty wealthy people, it's now looking to cut pilot benefits. NetJets is a subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway, run by Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha. Now, yesterday, the New York Post picked up part of Fox Business's interview with Warren Buffett that I did at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting, and here is what he had to say about the NetJets pilots who want more.
They average about $145,000 annually, and they're on for 7 days and off for 7 days. I mean, they like the work arrangements. They like the fact that they can enter the system at almost any place, which is unlike with the airlines. So we don't see our pilots going elsewhere. But they've got a good jobs, and we've got a good business.
So it's been a dispute that's dragged on for some 2 years. Is that how the pilots really feel, the way Mr. Buffett explained it? Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive, Pedro Leroux is the president of NetJets Association of Shared Aircraft Pilots, the union representing NetJets pilots. Oh, okay, are you guys going to strike? This is going on for so long. At some point, Pedro, there is a massive stalemate, and somebody has to move on this.
Yeah, we're currently in mediation. We fall under the Railway Labor Act, and we're probably 10 or 12 months before we can even request to go on strike.
Oh, you have to request to go on strike?
We do. We have to request under the rules that we work under to have the ability to go on strike, and we're probably 10 or 12 months. But if the management continues down this path, we feel like we have no other option other than to go on strike, which would be devastating to NetJets.
Well, Warren Buffett told me and Fox Business, these pilots are happy, they do well, they make $145,000. What did you make last year?
Last year I made somewhere in the lower $90,000 range.
Is that because your time was split between running the union and not flying as much?
No, I've been here 10 years. You know, the 7 and 7 schedule that he's talked about, a 10-year first officer on the 7 and 7 schedule is going to make somewhere in the mid-80s, $80,000. So
with all that training?
With all that training.
And you're flying?
We're flying
NBA, P. Diddy type rappers who make millions of dollars.
We love NetJets, and we're flying the captains of industry. And these
fly
people
Warren Buffett.
We
fly Charlie Munger.
Absolutely. And you know, during the $145,000 that was quoted, that 7 on 7 off, during that 7 days, we can work up to 98 hours, and we're away from our families that entire time.
Pedro, let me push back on you a bit here. Warren Buffett says this is what the market will bear, and that $145,000 average is pretty much what fractional jet pilots are getting paid.
Well, you know, NetJets is the premier or the luxury provider. It's a Rolls-Royce of aviation. And if you start putting, you know, Yugo parts in a Rolls-Royce, eventually it's going to have an effect on it. So we believe we make 40% less than our counterparts at the airlines. Okay,
but wait, airlines, commercial airlines are different. They're flying 200 people at a time, and isn't that an apples to kiwis comparison?
Well, there are some differences, but a pilot is a pilot, and NetJets has to compete with the airlines. And NetJets touts that we have the world-class pilots. In order to retain world-class pilots, you have to have pay that's commensurate with our peers.
We should also point out that there's been a lot of change at the top. Richard Santulli, who first ran NetJets, and then David Sokol was running it. Now Jordan Hansel, who is an attorney, is very capable. I've talked to Jordan many times. You got to keep us posted on this, because I can't imagine this drags on for much longer before you guys finally say we're out. But 98, you say 98 pilots have either left or been fired in the last year?
Yeah, we've seen our attrition double in the last couple of years. Our own internal polling is saying that over 30% of the pilot group is looking to go elsewhere.
Pedro, keep us posted. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And by the way, I witnessed that strike, and they were respectful. They were quiet. That protest, rather, I shouldn't say strike. And they were right outside. I think we got the video, and they were walking in their pilots' uniforms. It's about 400 pilots, and they flew in from all over on their own dime. So it's a passionate situation, but Mr. Buffett says he loves his pilots, and this is what the market will bear. Thank you. Keep us posted.